Wow, I got to tell you, I'm really excited to be here. This has been one of the most exciting conventions I've ever been to. I think from Thursday morning, from Lauren's opening address, it was just been phenomenal weekend. What do you guys think? I mean, and then to be able to come out here and talk about my absolute favorite thing in the world, the shopping annuity, what could be better than that? So, would you agree, we learned a lot of things. You've heard about the shopping annuity, all the new tools, all the new innovations, all the brand new stuff coming out. It's just amazing. But one thing JR always says is information plus application equals transformation. Isn't that right? And the problem is sometimes you can come to an event like this and you can get the information, but you might not know how to apply that information to grow your business. Is that fair to say? So what I wanted to talk about is the shopping annuity, and I wanted to explain how we've taken the shopping annuity to build our business and change our lives, really. And so let me ask you a question. How many of you would like to jump one UFO income level in the next year before you come back here again? Well, how many of you would like to jump 2 UFO levels when you come back here? Better yet, how many would like to jump 3 UFO levels before you come back here next year? Okay, well that's exactly what happened to us. When we came here last year, we had just hit National Supervising Coordinator. And in that year, we were able to hit Executive Supervising Coordinator, and right before we came here, we were able to hit Director. So I want to show you exactly how we did it. How's that sound? Okay, because I just want to point out to you that I believe the shopping annuity is everything. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, like we were saying yesterday, on Thursday on stage, Elizabeth, you asked me about Nutrimetrics. Nutrimetrics includes the shopping annuity. TLS includes the shopping annuity. Website sales includes the shopping annuity. Everything we do includes the shopping annuity, and that's what JR has been trying to explain to people. And I think that's what we need to understand. It's everything. The shopping annuity is Market America. Market America is the shopping annuity. They're intertwined. You can't separate them. And that's what people need to understand, is this is everything. So what I wanted to show is how we actually incorporate the shopping annuity into the business plan and use it as a prospecting, recruiting, and sponsoring tool. So why don't we start with that? So how about if I could show you how to get, we have 100% interest within 5 minutes using the shopping annuity. What if I could show you how to get 100% of the people you talk to interested in seeing the business plan in 5 minutes? Would that be a good thing? Here's how I do it. When I sit down with someone and I mention the shopping annuity, the first thing I ask them is, have they heard of it? And of course they haven't. But even if they have seen it on social media, they still don't know what it is. So I say, let me explain to you what I mean by a shopping annuity. So let me ask you a question. If you were going to buy a new television, like a flat screen TV, what would your process be? I ask them what their process would be. And they think about it for a second, and they usually say, I would probably look online or do some reviews, figure out which TV I want, and then I'd go online and see where I could find it for the cheapest price. Does that make sense? That's what most people would do. And I say that is what most people do. That's what most intelligent people would do. So let's say, for this example, Walmart has the TV that they want on sale today. It's normally $750. Today it's on sale for $500. So I say, the TV you want, Pam, is on sale for $500. So you go to Walmart, you walk in, you get the TV, you take it to the checkout, you hand them your $500 and they hand you the TV, correct? Would you agree that that money is now spent? You just spent the $500, right? But you have the TV, but they have your $500, right? Then I look at that person and say, what if I could show you a way where you could buy that same TV at the same exact store, but now instead of the money being spent and you never seeing it again, we turn it into an investment that starts paying you a return on that investment down the road. Would you be interested in that? They all say yes. And now I go into the business presentation. And now I sit down, and the first thing I do before I show the plan is I explain this. I explain the shopping annuity before I get into the plan for a reason. I want them to understand this stuff. So I explain to them the average household in the United States of America makes $56,352. Now, how do I know that number off the top of my head? Because I do this a lot, okay? $56,352 is what the average makes. You may make less, you may make more, but that's the average. Rich to poor, $56,352. So out of that, those people spend about $18,000 to $20,000 on things like toilet paper, paper towels, garbage bags, dish soap, laundry detergent, shampoo, conditioner, cosmetics, skincare, tires for their car, occasionally appliances, eyeglasses, contact lenses. Stuff, as Don Martin said out here yesterday. We all buy stuff, right? And they agree that they do buy stuff. And I'll say, what if we could take that $20,000 that you spend anyway? See, the reason I like to do it this way is I'll get them agreeing with me that they spend this money before they've ever seen an assessment. It's not even necessary. I can get them to agree that they spend this money. So they spend the money, and then I'll say, what if we could show you how to turn that money into an investment? Would that interest you? Again, and they're like, yes, absolutely. How do you do it? So I'll say, we have a thing called the shopping annuity, where we take that money, and the money that used to go to the big ad campaigns and the ad firms, we now take that profit margin out and redistribute it amongst ourselves with the thing called the shopping annuity. Because when we can take them through the assessment if you want to, and you should after this, but it's not necessary in the beginning while you're showing them the business plan for the first time. And I'll say, we create what we call social currency called BV and IBV points, and we use these to generate commission checks for ourselves. Now, at this point, they're interested. Can you understand this? They're like, how can you take the money I spend on toilet paper, paper towels, garbage bags, etc., and turn it into an investment that starts paying me a residual income, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year? So the first thing I do is I take them through a portal tour. I keep it brief. It's 7 minutes at most. I just go through and show them the tool that we use to build the shopping annuity, because that's all shop.com is. It's a tool for us to track the purchases, right? So now I briefly show them this, and then I jump into the business plan. But while I do the business plan, I intertwine the shopping annuity throughout it. The business plan is the business plan. Nothing's changed. The basic five is the basic five. Nothing's changed. I just intertwine the shopping annuity and explain my buying power as a household is very limited. I only spend that $18,000 to $20,000. So do you, Jackie. You spend X amount of dollars. So do you. So do you. So do you. So does every person in this arena. By ourselves, we have very little power. Together, we have immense buying power. It's huge. So I just show how we economically connect households, and everyone's buying power now generates these points, and we get 100% of 100% from the bottom to the top, generating this income. And I show them how we can actually benefit our partners they get benefit of our products too. And I just say, these are just economically connected households buying the toilet paper, paper towels, garbage bags, dish soap, laundry detergent, tires for their car, cosmetics, skincare. You get the idea, right? That's all this is. And they start going crazy for it. So that's all we're doing, is just showing them how the shopping annuity is what they're already doing anyway. Taking the spent money that they spend, this is what generates this business. And then we get a few friends and family to also shop through our site, use our products and services, and we can build this huge annuity that starts paying us a residual income. Now, I want to tell a brief story because Bishop Jordan brought it up the other day when we were doing our roundtable. And it's a story that I heard from Lisa Grant 5 years ago at a local seminar in the great state of Buffalo. Buffalo thinks they're a state. The cold has messed with their minds up there, but that's just... So the story went like this. Lisa Grant told the story that she came to a convention years ago, and she saw Joanne Shee. And she wanted to talk to Joanne because I guess they started the business at about the same time. And she ran up to Joanne. At the time, Lisa was an executive director making $25,000 to $36,000. That's not a bad income, can we agree? But at the time, Joanne was super supreme galaxy leader making over $100,000 a month. And Lisa went up to Joanne and said, we've been in the business about the same amount of time. Joanne, can I ask you a question? And Joanne said, sure. And Lisa said, how is it you're making so much more money than I am? And she said, Joanne looked at her and said, you don't want to know, and walked away. And Lisa caught up to her again and said, no, I really want to know. And Joanne said, no, you don't. And Lisa said, Joanne, I really want to know. She goes, are you sure? And Lisa goes, yes. She goes, okay, here it is. Your team runs out of things like toilet paper, paper towels, and garbage bags and runs to the store and buys them. My team shops exclusively through their portal. They would never think of doing that. You have a team full of traders, and I don't. That's why you make what you make, and I make what I make. Listen. That story hit me right between the eyes that day, and I'll never forget it. I went home and changed my business. I said, she is right, and we're guilty of it too. And we went home and started shifting everything over, because you can lie to yourself, you can lie to your team, but the numbers do not lie. You're in a business where you get paid for converting your spending into earning, and then you don't convert your spending into earning. You're wondering why you're not hitting UFO levels and making more money, right? You need to commit to yourself today to change that. And that's what the shopping annuity does. Because every time you spend $1, you're either flushing that money down the drain or you're turning it into an investment that's going to pay you a residual income for the rest of your life, right? Listen, when we talk about flushing money, I know one part of the country where nobody's flushing any money, and that's Flushing, New York. And I'm going to tell you what. You look around this arena and you see all these t-shirts. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? I got news for you. It's not a secret. There's no ancient Chinese secret. They're just doing the business, the shopping annuity. Congratulations. My team, I want to be little flushing. I'm impressed every time I look in here. It's huge. You know, listen, think about it. They're just doing the business. But sometimes in this business, I ask people, who are you approaching with this opportunity? Because sometimes people are scared to approach certain people, successful people, let's say, people that have made money or are already all set financially, or so you think. So right now, I'd like to bring out a special guest of mine I brought here. He's a doctor out of Maryland area, and he has several clinics. And I'll let him tell you his story about what all his accolades. So please give a warm welcome to Dr. John Rosa. Yeah. I met John recently. He's only been in the business a few months now. And why don't you talk about a little bit of background on yourself?
A little bit?
Yes, keep it brief.
I have 15 clinics around the Washington Beltway, encompassing the Virginia, Maryland area. I started 3 integrative medicine departments in cancer hospitals. I sit on 3 boards. I have a few restaurants. I own a lot of real estate. I have 3 children and a smoking hot wife. So you say, you're smoking hot wife. How hot is your wife? My wife's so hot. How hot is she? Come on, repeat after me. My wife's so hot. My wife is so hot. She's so hot that in the morning I give her a mocha tonic shake. I put her on a treadmill, which is in front of my bicycle. She gets on there in a bikini and I chase her for 2 hours straight. I'm like,
Okay, we'll take your word for that. John, the reason I wanted you to come out here is you're clearly already successful in life. When we went to the boot camp down in Connecticut recently, I invited you to come down there with me. And you sat there, and Jared was on stage talking to the crowd, talking about what it takes to retire, for someone to retire today, how they need to have millions of dollars saved up and everything. And he asked the room full of people, how are you doing towards that goal? And you went to raise your hand, because you are all set financially. You don't need any more money. You're set. You can stop working today. You're all set. And you looked around and noticed you were the only one raising your hand. You actually got embarrassed and put your hand back down. And you said something to me afterwards. He looked at me and said, Carl, why are we excluding the top 5% of income earners in this country from this opportunity?
yeah, I mean, if you're going to approach, I've been hearing some conversations about the sweet spot. So people say, well, these are the people I would approach. This guy's too successful, I wouldn't bother him, or there's somebody that doesn't make enough money. That doesn't exist. In fact, somebody at that top 5%, they get it. I love systems. I am a systems guy. I have them in place. I know how to handle multiple locations, multiple people. I go to bed at night, though, trying to worry about 120 employees and making sure payroll hits. And in a business sense, I've started 30-something business in 20 years. The headaches, the cheapest was $25,000 to open the doors, $600,000 to open the doors, and a $3 million building that I bought, and I put money into that building every month. So to somebody approach me to say, for less than $500, we're going to give you a business that can throw off $187,000 at its small point. And it's $20 a month to run a very sophisticated accounting back office management system. You don't want to know what my management people and my accountant are taking from me every month. I'm not going to even bring it up. So it was really a no-brainer. It just didn't seem...
You actually looked at me and said, Carl, what's the catch? We went down to Puerto Rico, and you went down there. He was approached with Nutrimetrics. I did not show John the business plan. My partner, David Redding, did. And he was focused on Nutrimetrics. And when we went to grow down in Puerto Rico with some health professionals, John came with us. He said, yeah, I'd like to go with you, and we'll do that. We're just knowing Nutrimetrics. We got down there, and John heard me explaining the plan to these health professionals. And when I explained the plan to health professionals, guess what I talk about? The shopping annuity, as well as Nutrimetrics. And he sat there and he goes, wait a minute. You're telling me I can get paid for everything I buy through all my practices, all my offices, and that's the shopping annuity? He goes, what's the catch?
I still ask what the catch is because it's too easy.
And I tell you, there's no catch. The catch is you just have to be willing to go through your shop.com site so we can track it through our sophisticated tracking system when we all get paid.
But Dave Redding, Dr. Dave Redding, kudos to him for winning the award for Nutrimetrics last night.
Congratulations, David.
He approached me and introduced me to the supplements, and then I said, how do I get these to sell in my clinics? He said, I want to tell you a little bit. We were college roommates. That's a story for the bars and not for the stage. So he says to me, John, I know you so well, and all you think about is your middle leg. I want to talk about your right and left. Right? So he explained the business to me. I got it. I jumped in. And the shopping annuity piece in Puerto Rico, I said, wait a minute. I was just thinking about it last night, too, because it's a little higher than I initially told you. $65,000 a month in credit card bills for business and personal and there's other spending that I do besides that. Why in the world am I not going to switch that over? This is just an example. Like he's asking, who do you approach? Go for me, because I'm lighting this thing on fire. And my brother, who's my partner's joined. My older brother, who owns $1 million business, said, what the hell are you guys doing? So he just jumped in right before we got here. So go after the guys that can build it strong and fast.
And it was all aspects of the business that were appealing, because when we got here, this is his first convention. And we were talking backstage, and he goes, Carl, I'm so glad you invited me here. I'm so glad you got me to come here. But you told me you made one mistake. What was it?
I came here by myself. Yeah, JR has said it's his first convention. It's my first convention, too. But next time,
right.
I'm coming with my peeps.
That's really what it's about. And you asked me why people don't approach people like yourself. Why don't more unfranchised owners approach successful people? And I told you it's the F word. Fear.
Oh, okay.
Fear. What were you thinking?
No, it's just...
It's fear. They're afraid to, but you said that's ridiculous. Successful people are the ones that have networks. Successful people are the ones that spend money. Don't be afraid to approach everyone with this business. The shopping annuity is for everybody. The poorest person or the richest person can build a six-figure residual income. People that make money like to hang on to their money, and they like to save money, and they like to make more money.
The design that you guys put together, which thank you very much for doing so, is for that percent of the population that do understand business. There's thousands of BV and IBV a month that I'm going to end up putting through this system. Just because my network of people that I'm hanging out with, between the boards I sit on and the connections I'm chair of the board at New York Chiropractic College. So I'm lecturing and in front of 1 million of these guys. It's just, so for me to go out and be the evangelist that you speak of, whoever, if one of you guys got someone like me, then it's infinitesimal.
Man, I am so glad you just said that, John, because that's what this is about. You came here for a reason. Hopefully at this point today, you're already convinced. JR talked a lot about it. Hopefully you're convinced that the shopping annuity works. We've proven that it works. You saw numerous people coming up here saying that the shopping annuity works. You're convinced of that. But you just said something. Are you ready to be committed? Are you ready to be committed to it? There's a big difference between convinced and committed. It's up to us in this arena to become the shopping annuity evangelists and to start shouting this from the rooftops and make the shopping annuity and shop.com a household word like Fat Joe said 1 year ago on this stage. That's how we're going to do it. Are you guys ready to do that? Come on, are you ready to do that? Let's do it. We'll all go to the top together.